Teen anxiety. That is the topic for today on Tips on Teens. My name is Kent Toussaint. I'm a licensed marriage and family therapist, and I'm the founder and clinical director of Teen Therapy Center, and also the chairman of the board and the executive director of the nonprofit organization Child and Teen Counseling, both here in Woodland Hills, where we help kids, teens, and families live happier lives. Every Wednesday at noon, I answer your parenting questions, and here is today's question. My daughter told me she has anxiety and that it's making high school really hard. She's 15, and she's never had a problem with this kind of stuff before. I'm honestly not sure what she means by anxiety. She's always been a confident, outgoing kid. How am I supposed to respond to this? So, when our kids are going through anxiety or having some uncomfortable feeling that's not abating, it creates a lot of anxiety in us as parents because we want to help and we feel helpless. And I think that can give us a little insight into how your kid is feeling. When people feel anxious, and this is beyond just the normal run-of-the-mill anxiety that everyone feels. As humans, we all get anxious sometimes, but it's the persistent anxiety that won't stop. Makes someone feel helpless. And so we as parents feel helpless. And it's important that we are aware of that so we don't start projecting that helplessness and that anxiety back onto our kids, making them more anxious and helpless. And this cycle of anxiety, helplessness, and then suddenly people are yelling and screaming or distancing themselves, and it becomes worse. So if you've never had a consistent feeling of anxiety in your life that you couldn't shake, it may be hard to relate with. And what I would encourage you to do is to trust that those feelings are real and not try to dismiss them, not try to explain them away. The worst 3 words you can say is, don't worry about it. Actually, that's 4 words, I'm sorry. But as soon as you say, don't worry about it, what is someone going to do? They're going to start worrying about it even more. And they're going to feel like, well, maybe I'm crazy for feeling this way, but I still feel this way. So trying to dismiss the feelings is not going to help. What can help is having a real empathic response. Sit down with your daughter on the couch or the kitchen table, hold her hand, put your arm around her shoulder. She'll let you, if that kind of physical contact is going to be helpful for her, to say, hey, I know you're not feeling good right now. I know you're upset. I know you're feeling bad. Talk to me about it. I'm not going to judge you. You're not going to get in trouble. I'm not going to, don't try to fix the problem. You cannot solve her problem. You cannot solve her anxiety. There's nothing you're going to say that's going to make her magically go, I feel better. It's not about what you say. It's what you hear. It's having big ears and a small mouth, right? And if you're able to have that physical closeness with her, because we as humans oftentimes respond positively to loving physical contact where it feels safe, if that works with your family, and let her just talk, let her just vent. And it may be things you think, that's nothing, that's easy, that we can totally do with. We can respond to that. We can fix that. Bite your tongue till it bleeds, because she's not needing you to solve the problem. She's needing you to listen. And as you're listening, if she's feeling safer, she may ask you for your advice, which is a trap question, a trick question. You may want to say to her, hey, I hear you asking for my input. Do you want me to give you advice, or do you just want me to listen? She says, yes, I want your advice. What should I do? Then you offer advice, but you have to understand that you cannot hold her to following that advice, because she's probably not going to follow it, at least not at first. Just like you don't follow advice when your friends give you advice either. None of us follows advice. We don't usually want advice. We usually know what to do, we just don't want to do it because it's uncomfortable, whether it's talking to a teacher or a friend or whatever that is. This is not going to be solved in one sit-down meeting with the two of you. It's going to be several times, meeting and talking and listening and allowing her to vent, and eventually helping her recognize ways that she can solve the problem or deal with frustration and anxiety, whether it's finding a creative outlet, a physical outlet. Those are really big things. Finding what are causes. Again, it could be 1,000 different things, but here are some common ones. Is there a social circle at school changing in some way that she's not ready for and she doesn't know how to predict, or it's scary or it's uncomfortable? Is there something going on at home? There are family relationships at home that are more tense or volatile or distant, and she's not coping with that well? Is there a lot of pressure for her to perform at school or her sporting event or her, piano recital or whatever that is? Is that causing more anxiety? Again, these are just a few examples of many. You also want to look at how much screen time she's getting. Is she getting too much screen time? Is it disrupting her sleep? And that can cause a lot of anxiety. Something you may want to talk to a pediatrician about, or better yet, a nutritionist about, is her diet affecting her anxiety, which it can. Is she eating certain things, whether it's more sugar or whatever it is that causing more anxiety? For some kids it does, some kids it doesn't. Everyone's unique, so it's important to talk to a professional about how to determine if certain foods are making her react in ways that are not working. So talk to a pediatrician, talk to a nutritionist, and if the anxiety is still persistent, still going there, you may need to talk to a counselor, and that can help. And helping her, giving her an avenue where she can process these feelings and talk about them in a safe, non-judgmental environment may help her start challenging these disruptive thoughts and feelings. Anyways, it's a lot to talk about. We can talk all for an hour, 2 hours, 5 hours about anxiety, because it's a big topic. But I just want to scratch the surface, give you kind of a one direction to kind of pursue and kind of go towards. I just want to make sure you don't try to dismiss her feelings, don't try to explain them away, don't try to fix it. Just be there for her. Big ears, small mouth, and that is what I want you to walk away with today with Tips on Teens. Anyways, if you have a question you'd like me to answer next Wednesday at noon, please email us at tipsonteens@teentherapycenter.com, or you can direct message us right here on Facebook, or just give us a call. Love to hear from you. Again, see you next Wednesday. Talk to you then. Bye-bye.